Well, hello, everybody. It's Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
It is 7
Catch all
o'clock,
off
and we
guard.
are the number one women's podcast for everything football. My name is Amber.
And I am Amanda. Hi, everybody.
How you doing today, Amanda?
Good. I'm really excited for this show, and he is already backstage, and so we have so much to get into to talk about. We have
I'm sure
Vernon
we do.
Jackson on tonight. He is based out of Cincinnati. He is an award-winning barber and author who created the Gifted Event. The Gifted Event is a program offering free sensory-friendly haircuts to neurodivergent children and those with special needs. He has gone viral on TikTok with a lot of very cool reels that he has created for the haircuts that he has done on autistic children. And I want to show a video before we bring him on, but I don't want to keep him all night long. So we will show the video. But without further ado, let's bring him on. Vernon Jackson. Hi, how are you? Can you hear us? Can you hear us? Can hear you. Okay, try getting out and then get back in for me. Okay, hold on.
I wonder if the phone's connected to Bluetooth.
Yeah. Yeah, let me see.
Let's see. He's got the echo cancellation on. Anywho, while they're figuring that out, guys, I'm going to let you see. This is the young man we're speaking of right here, ladies and gentlemen. This guy, look at that. Freaking amazing. Awesome sauce. We are absolutely honored to have him here. And I've got to say the impact that
Okay.
he's
Can
made
you
on
can you
individuals.
hear
Hear me?
us? Yes.
There we
Okay. I can't hear
go.
you though.
You can't hear
I
me?
can't I can't hear you.
Oh no. Okay. All right. Check your phone. Check your phone. Check your phone. I sent you a text. Oh, let me see.
While we're getting this figured out, I'm going to go ahead and get to the UFL standings since we're getting here. Right now, it's amazing because we're halfway through it, right? Dang near. And I'm pretty stoked about it because the DC Defenders are currently in first place and tied with the Orlando Storm. So we no longer have an undefeated team, folks.
Okay,
We
hold on, Amber.
actually
Oh, he's
have
texting
two
me.
teams that are tied for first with 4 wins and 1 loss. And then the next two teams are tied for second, and that's going to be the Renegades and the Battlehawks. St. Louis and Dallas both are tied with 3
Can you
wins,
hear us?
2 losses.
Can you hear us?
Okay.
It's
Well,
like it
I
went in
can't hear
pairs.
nothing.
You can. Okay. All right.
Here's what we're getting ready to do, folks. It went in pairs when it came to the standings. What happened here, and this is off the ESPN site. Okay, so I'm going to give credit's due, but it's like it went into the, I don't know how to call it. It went into like Noah's Ark. You got the top two, then the next two are tied for second place, the next two are tied for third, and the next two are tied for fourth. However, when you look at the point differentials, it's pretty staggering. If you look over here, you've got the 73 positive, and they're on a win streak with 4 wins. So I think they just had to knock the cobwebs out, right? Orlando felt the sting of their first loss. And it's kind of been, up and down in between for the rest of them. They did just announce that the championship game will be held at Audi Field in DC. So get your tickets while you can, folks, because that's going to be a hot show to get to. I am so stoked about it. It's pretty phenomenal how how the standings have played out, you can't beat it. You really can't. I'm loving that we're seeing the gamblers kind of come up, come up, come up. They've been up and down, up and down. I'm especially happy. I know this sounds a bit biased and unnecessary, but I'm especially happy to see the Stallions getting knocked off their high horse with this whole dynasty rhetoric. So it's very refreshing. We've had Oklahoma get
Amber,
announced.
we're good. We're good now. We'll get back
Wonderful,
to
wonderful.
it. Okay. We're good. We're good. Here he is. He got it. Yes.
How you doing
Vernon
today,
Yeah,
Mr.
Jackson,
Jackson?
how are you?
I'm better now.
Yes.
I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
You're good, sir. You're good, sir.
You're good. So I have so much to talk to you about, first of all,
Uh,
but will you talk about the gifted event and when that all started?
all right, so the gifted event first started, I think probably about was it 26, probably like 5 years ago. And it went so fast. Like I got started because I had so many families that were like coming to get their kids haircut, and they were always telling me that they've been refused by other service providers to take care of their kids. And I was actually one of them kind of people. I'm like, yeah, I never refuse anyone, but it became frustrating because when parents would book their kids' appointment, they would never disclaim that their child were differently able, which would have required more time. It was always like after school too. And so where a 15-minute time slot would end up turning into a 30-minute to 35-minute service because the child would come in, they would stem, and it would be very uncomfortable, of course, because it's after school time, there are a lot of people around, it's loud in there, it's not it was so it was a lot going on, but I didn't understand what they were experiencing at the time. And so I was, I'm the kind of person where I was like, man, I was like, I prayed about it. I like, God, listen, I, I, I don't know what to do, and so
Mhm.
I knew it will require me to probably come in on my day off. And if you know me, I don't play about my off time. My time is my time, and that's the thing. But it will require me to come in once, like on my off day. So I figured I can, even though I didn't really want to do it at the time, I knew that at least I would be able to do it from a place of love. I would rather for me to endure through the process than have them go someplace else that isn't going to like, have the same intention and pay that kind of attention to a child. And that was my mustard seed moment, my mustard seed thought, and it got me going.
Vernon, did you do a lot of research about autism before starting this? And what is no? Okay, so do explain that a little bit and why children with special needs, Down syndrome, or autism, any of the above.
Well, like I said, I only had the idea just to, I didn't want to be another no to the families,
Hmm.
and um, and I was like, I'm just willing to figure it out. I'm willing to go and do it, and I was having, you know, I didn't really the the autism community became a lot like like the gravity was the gravity. I never articulated or disclaimed I'm only working with, what I'm saying, like this,
Hmm.
uh, this spectrum of disability or different ability. Uh, this is what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I call it the gifted event. I didn't want to call it special needs haircut day. That sounds whack as
Hmm.
hell. You know what I'm saying? So, you
Right.
know, I was like, let me just let me call it something that that can be that can redefine some things and make it a special time. And it got to a point where people was even referring to their child as being gifted versus then their diagnoses, right? And so I just this that was it. I just learned as I went, and my techniques just came from just paying attention to try to balance out whatever their discomfort was. How can I make them comfortable, right? So if they're if the vibration of the clipper is, you know, is if they're focusing on the clipper being on their head, what can I give them in their hand that can counteract what they're experiencing right here? You know, that's
Mhm.
I was just paying attention in terms of technique wise. But my real big gift really comes into um, patience.
Mhm.
It's the patience key. You know what I'm saying? And being someone that is willing to be in the process with them, um, and allow them to go through the process how they need to go through it, and not how I'm making them go through it. Right. So if you want to go zigzag, up, down, you know, like we do a Mortal Kombat code for a combo, then let's do it. You know, however we gotta get, however we got to get to yes, I'm willing to. Let's go. Because once they experience that I'm with them, then they will acquiesce to my process. You know. So yeah.
I'm smiling, smirking, shaking my head yes, because as I explained to you and a lot of our followers know, my son Blake has autism and is on the spectrum. And I have learned, even as a mother, with being a stylist and watching your videos, on how even I need to conduct myself when I cut my son's hair.
Hmm.
So I will say one big tip that you have done is taking your clippers and just gradually going up the arm and having them touch it, but going slow on their time. But also, the thing I love about what you do is that you're letting them know that they're in a safe place, they are okay,
Hmm.
and at the end of it, you make a big deal about it, but not a big deal from a standpoint of, obviously, if you go above and beyond, it's like too overwhelming, too overstimulating.
Hmm.
But you let them know what they did by getting
Yeah.
a haircut. And that's a huge step and a huge role. What passion and excitement do you get after doing these services for these children, but also for their families?
Well, you know what? You know, I have a short attention span myself, so I count. I count the small victories. You know,
Mhm.
like I'm like yo, like what? You touched it for 5 seconds? Let's go. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like you did it, and they're like, yay, I'm like, yay. You know, it's like I'm submerged in the experience with them from a human level. That's why we can all, like, both of us can emerge out of it excited and dope. Like I had a child today. They drove in from Dayton, like what, hour and 20 minutes from my shop. The caregivers drove him in, and he haven't had a haircut in a long time. Uh, uh, Caucasian young man, like 13, like 14 years old, which is older than I usually service when they get to the event. But they saw me on TikTok, and they're like, "Yo, like, you know, he self harms, he hits, no one will work with him. You know, his hair is long, he has like his hair, because he won't let us, he won't let no one touch his hair, his head. So some parts of his hair is locked up, you know, and so for a white kid to have locked hair naturally, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like he cracked the code. He cracked the
Mhm.
code. You know what I'm saying? Like so, it was like I was like, yo, so he come in, they come in, and like immediately, I'm like, hey, how you doing, man? And I open my energy up, right? And I'm saying, you tell me his name is Matthew, and and he's already like in his own way trying to like show like I'm like, hey, you want to sit in a haircut chair? He's like, no. I'm like, respect, respect. You know what I'm saying? Like, and but to get it going, you know, I said, do you like, are you afraid of, are you afraid of clippers or scissors? He said, scissors. I said, okay, can I try the clippers for you? I'm like, he said, yes. I said, great. So I get the clippers and I say, all right, let's try it, right? I said, he's like, no, 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 no. I'm like, come on, man. And like, listen, 5 seconds, you count the 5 seconds and we done. He get a little close like this, right? Like this. It's like count.
Mhm.
I'm like, you cheating, but it's okay. I'm like, all right. So the second time he did 5 seconds, I like, I'm like, there you go, good job. And then he claps. I'm like, yeah. Then I'm like, how about right here? And boom, right here. And next thing you know, I put the number two guard on and I start cutting. And they're like,
Mhm. Right?
and
I've had
so,
those.
it's like I'm like, and so I only got to like remember his hair is like right here, all the way around. I got to
Mhm.
like the cut like at the nape, like right below the crown, and a little bit like right here on the sides. And he stood up, he was like, no, car, car. I'm like, come on, man. But I'm like, you know what? He let me get far this time. He let
Yep.
me get far the first time. I ain't trying to press it. I told him, like, listen, you can come up, you can come back as soon as you want to. Let's not make this an issue for him, and we can work at his time. We already locked in with me, right? I don't want to
Mhm.
make him hate me, right?
Mhm.
So I know when to chill. But I was like, I was giving up in terms of like as weight. But one thing I was telling my colleague earlier and the people that were there, I was like, and I was getting emotional because I end up doing a haircut. He let me do the whole haircut, right? He's like, yo, cut right here, like right here. I said, okay, great, I got you, right?
Mhm.
You know, and so, but before we got to that moment, it's like it's like when water meets air, right?
Mhm.
There's this it's like it's just that small little I think called a meniscus, like that small little thin little space. Like and I was like, man, and I like when my skill ended, the Holy Spirit finished the rest. Like God came in and was like, yo, I got it. Because all of a sudden his caretaker like, well, let's play some music. And then the music was cool. So now he's calm. I'm next thing you know, I'm doing a whole haircut. Right? I'm like, oh snap, like right, because it's just like it was just a microcosm to how everything works. It's like, yo, we can't when it's bigger than us, we do not have all the tools to get things done. And we gotta leave room for God to do what only God can do. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
so, and I'm the kind of person I mind my business. I mind my business. I know when to stop. I know when it's me and I know when it's not me, right?
Mhm.
And so when it was all done, I'm over here, and they walked out. I said, "Come look at that. Come look at it." First, I said, "Come to the gifted space and look." He said, "No, no." I said, "Man, all right, man, come on." So I said, "Let's go over here then, right to the other mirror." He's like, "Okay." So he followed me over there, and then he looked in the mirror. He's like, "Nice." I was like, and then I said, man, good job, man. High five, man. Give me a hug. He gave me a hug. The autism hug. They just bring their body to you. You know what I'm saying? You know
Mhm.
what I mean? So, but he had a smile on his face and he was proud of himself. It was a really beautiful moment. It was a really, when they walked out, I cried. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh.
I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? So,
Go
yeah. So,
ahead,
yeah.
Amber.
I gotta ask you, Mr. Jackson, do you remember your first gifted haircut? What was that like?
I can't remember my first gift a haircut per se. I mean, I think it was, because I think, no, my first one was a kid I already been cutting because I knew his mom from high school. And they would drive down from Dayton because he wouldn't let no one cut his hair up there. So, but my first day was like, I was like, oh shoot, I'm really doing this thing. And I had kids coming from Cincinnati Children's Hospital. The word had got around, and I had a lot of families that were like, listen, I don't know what it's about you, but my child had never sat this still for nobody in getting his hair cut. And it was happening a lot that day. And that was why after the second time I did it, I started recording videos. I'm like, yo, if this happened like that, people gotta see what's going on. And so, and that was really how what happened on that day. But it was. And I would go back and watch the videos. I'm like, yo, that happened, like, and so yeah.
Pretty amazing. So then, what's the farthest distance a client has driven, and how does that make you feel?
Let me see. I had a family that had a family that drove in from Iowa. They drove in from Iowa. They was already coming in town. They're like, yo, we're going to make it a point to come and see Vernon. And they didn't even make an appointment. They just called me at the random, like, hey, so we're driving in town from Iowa, and our son has Down syndrome, and we would love for you to cut his hair. We know it's last minute, but if you can do anything, we'd love to. I'm like, man, God, shit, I gotta do it. I got, I
Bless
got.
your heart, because can I just say, I've been trying to get a hold of this man for 2 years, and it's literally just like by the grace of God how I met you. But anyway, I want to talk to you about how you build that trust with these families and what that means to you. And do you communicate still with families of children's hair that you've already cut?
Yes, and like a lot of people. Okay. First, how I build the trust
Yeah,
and
yeah,
bond.
yeah.
I'm a real person. I don't on my social media I share what I do, but I'm not out here trying to project like this perfect person. And I talk to the kid like I talk to you right now, like I talk to anybody else. I'm like, man, come on, man, let's go. Like let's get it going. Or I encourage them in the same way I encourage anybody else. Like you got this. Come on. Like one of my kids, my little homie, Rory, little Rory, right? Rory has autism. He's so freaking adorable. One time I was cutting. Listen, side note, I was cutting Rory's hair, and the way he emotes, how he just you can tell how he's like really trying his best to get through it. And it was a shop full of guys, including his father. And we was all, and all the guys were in the shop just encouraged, like, you can do it. You're doing so good. And we were all getting freaking emotional. We were all getting emotional. And I told him, like, I got you. So that's my thing I tell the kids. I say, I got you. And so his father, out the blue, sends me a video saying, of him saying, what does Mr. B say? He said, I got you. You know, like, come on. Come
Right.
on. I forgot your question.
And have you communicated with any of the other, yeah, moving forward?
Yeah, so when I have kids and families, I have so much going on. I still like to
Mm-hmm.
protect my energy and my space. But when a child crosses my heart that I haven't seen in a while, I always reach out, see what's going on, see how everybody's doing. And honestly, like if a family doesn't come back to me after a couple of visits or X, Y, and Z, I'm not tripping because hopefully you figured it out. You know what I'm saying? Because the average drive time for a family is like over an hour to 2 hours. I had a family that was driving down once a month for their 2-year-old from Cleveland to get his hair cut. You know what I'm
Honestly,
saying?
Vernon, I have to say, I probably guilty as charged. I probably would do the same thing. And I have to say, the reason why is because Cincinnati will always hold a very special place in my heart. Because my son, when
Hmm.
he was very ill, the children's hospital there in Cincinnati is absolutely phenomenal. And
Yes.
Dr. Call, shout out to him. He's amazing there in Cincinnati at that hospital, and he forever changed my son's life. So, yes, Cincinnati is huge. And I will tell you, we've made trips up there to Cincinnati to see him just
Yes.
because we adore him and for all he did. So, I can understand that and relate to those families that come to see you
And
that
that's real.
travel so far.
I think that's one of like the dopest things about what I do. Like outside of like being able to be myself, like it was just how
Mm-hmm.
I connect with the kids and the family so well. Like I'm being me, and the
Mm-hmm.
kids, I like kids to be who they are. But the fact that I have doctors and therapists that like that are referring their patients to me, right? And like one of her one of my clients, a new client, came in like, yeah, at the end of our visit the doctor asked, do you have someone cutting his hair? They're like, yeah, we're gonna go see Vernon. Like, okay, great, I was gonna refer you to him. like
Mm-hmm. Vernon, can I
like
tell you what I think you need to do?
what's that?
So you are a best-selling author of one of the books is called The Looking Glass, okay?
Yeah, yeah,
I think that you need to create a children's sensory book for doing hair, such as what you're doing, right? And having, you know how they
yeah,
touch and feel stuff on there, like
Yeah.
creating something that would be a good touch and feel for you for when the kids come. I think that you have all of the things
It's a
in
great
place to
idea. It
happen.
really is. It really is a good idea because
Mhm,
that could be something that the parents can take home and it has your picture on it and the kids are going to remember you and they'll
mhm,
feel even more comfortable at the next time they come back.
mhm.
It's an amazing idea.
And you know what?
Yeah.
And you know what's the best part about it, Vernon? You
What's
don't even
that?
have to compensate me for that idea, sir. You don't even have to make it rain for me to compensate all that. I want to just throw this out there too. Where
Just give us the shout out in the
Yeah.
dedication, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Listen, for sure. You get the first interview, the first
Mhm.
post. There you go.
Mhm.
Yo, I don't
Just
care
say.
if CBS called me first. I said I can't do it. I can't do it.
Vernon, who inspires you every day to do what you're doing?
Oh, you know what? It's a cycle. You know what I mean? It's like the families, yo. Like when you as human beings, we always look for a space where we can be seen, where we
Mhm.
can be appreciated and feel appreciated, right? And and you know that you have an impact. I know, like I get to experience on a regular basis that the work I do has an impact, and I love my kids. If I don't I remember when I was on my vacation this year, I was like, yo, I miss my kids. I'm enjoying my time off. I needed the time. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But I miss my kids, right? And you know, listen. I like God gets the glory. I get to do it. And I look at it like I really get to do this. I don't
Mhm.
have to like I don't I did not have to like I said I didn't want to do the haircuts before. Hell, I don't even I didn't really like cutting hair in general. Cutting hair was always my sponsor for my life and things I wanted to do. I love being a creative. I love being a poet and being on stage. Like I love doing. I thought I was gonna be known for my books and be like like a dating author and doing speaking engagements and all that type of stuff. I thought that was gonna be my life you
Mhm.
know. So
Mhm.
so when it came out that guy got me doing haircuts for one of the toughest demographics to cut, and I'm doing what I
Mhm.
don't like to do. What are you? I'm
Mhm.
and I'm coming on my day off. What are you talking about? Like
Absolutely.
but I couldn't see it any other way.
How
I
many
couldn't
do
I
you
couldn't.
do in a day?
So I do. I was at first I was doing once a month. I was doing every third Monday. Now I do it every Wednesday, and I do about 9 to 10 kids on a Wednesday, and then every kid gets 30 minutes, and then I may do about like 8 to 12 throughout the week. Yeah, yeah, 8 to 12 throughout the
Wow.
week. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Wow.
and most of them their first like I got a lot of first time visits, like so people watch the videos like having a breakthrough with kids on the first time is not what I'm saying and sometimes I don't,
Mhm.
and sometimes I'm like sometimes we gotta hold that kid down like, hey, listen, your parent drove 2 hours, you getting this haircut.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
that's why that's why I work out because hey, I gotta be to hold a grip on them. Like, hey, listen,
Do
and
you
kids because listen, I get it. They're defending their life from whatever they feel uncomfortable. I respect it. You better fight for yourself. You know what I'm saying? So they might do a thing where like try to do a headbutt to get out. I gotta be to hold that head steady. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta be to
Yeah.
hold it. I can't have a mom walking out with a busted face.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
no.
saying?
Mm.
No,
so
no.
then
Listen.
do
I,
you have the
I,
parents in the room with you while you're performing the haircuts?
Yeah, a lot of times I do because sometimes I want to be to teach the parents to know when to be quiet, okay, and be present.
Hey,
All right,
that's a big thing. They've got to learn
no,
to be able to
seriously,
navigate in the world, and
yeah,
parents have to know. You're not going to be
yes,
there 100% of the time. You got to let
no,
these kids learn to grow up and deal with it on their own.
exactly. You gotta raise them forward. I tell parents all the time, you're raising them forward. I said, listen, like the world don't give a shit about your kid. They don't. They don't have to. They don't
Right.
have to. You know that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you need to. So you have to be the person that challenges them from a place of love for the love of them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I'm like, listen, they go. I'm like, they go. My one of my favorite things I tell them, I said, listen, they're gonna cry anyway, with or without your permission. You might as well have them cry in the direction you want them to go.
Mm-hmm.
With growth.
Like,
Yeah.
what are you doing? You know
I
what I'm
think
saying?
the I think the biggest thing, Vernon, I have to say as a mom, going through it, right, is I can tell you exactly what would happen because I would have to take the hairstylist side out of it and then me come in as a mom, right? So if I were to come into your place of a business as a mom, I'd be like, okay, he doesn't like this and this and this. And all of a sudden, and I've seen you say to moms, like, I'm going to need you guys to just sit over here. I got this. Like, I'll take care of it. Like, the helicopter mom thing, that's this one right here. But the thing that I'm realizing and that I'm noticing too with watching your videos is that you have to let them let them. Like you have to allow them to do these things because if you don't, you are hurting them that much more. Like
Yeah,
way more. Like
yeah.
I mean,
I, s- I,
how hard is that for you to tell parents to like I got this? Like is that
it's not,
hard?
it's not hard at all. I don't give a shit.
Right?
I don't. I say, listen, like I'm a perfect mix of I don't care and I care the most. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't let your feelings stop them from becoming the person you want them to become.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because your emotions, your feelings will keep them locked in the. Because they grow, then you have to deal with the fact that you're not as needed anymore. You know what I'm saying? And the
Mhm.
whole, and so parents have to learn how to be present enough to experience what's happening, but also have vision enough to prepare them for what's to come. You know,
Mhm.
like it is what it is, and it's not meant to be easy. It's meant to be worth it. You know, it is what it is.
That is really I like that saying right there. That look at this guy. This guy happens to be my partner, well, my significant other anyway. And he says preach because a lot of the things you're saying are a lot of the things that has told me. But before we let you go, because I know that you're an
No, 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 no. Hold
extremely
on, hold on, hold on. No, because here we go. 'Cause listen, you gotta understand. Like as a mom, you're your emotional connection is one thing, but you have to have someone when it comes to like achieving a goal is a minuscule moment compared to the journey. You
Mhm.
make you because when you get to the goal, you're like, oh, like it was great, but what do you talk about? What you went through to get there. So and you don't grow by ease. You grow by resistance. So if so, and that's the thing about men. Men we have to learn to, to be as a mature man to take on the hits of life and not be wavered. We have to be strong enough to be the umbrella in the rain because you don't want to get wet. But if you don't let the
Mhm.
umbrella, but you're not letting a man do what a man does or what he can do. It's like you telling the umbrella that it's not working right.
Mm. You're right.
But I'm agreeing. I'm
You're right.
agreeing. Diamonds are beautiful because of the pressure that they're put under.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Vernon, can I okay, this side thing. And the reason why I think I'm a lot like this is because, and I'm going to use an yes, everyone's going to say excuses, excuses, excuses. Yes, it is an excuse, but here's my reason why. My
Mhm.
son was in and out of the hospital for 3.5 years, okay, with
Mhm.
different medical necessities. We talked about those things.
Yeah.
I think the main reason why is because when you're by somebody's beck and call for so long, you know, you're in a hospital room. What can I get you? You're in a hospital room. You have doctors, you have nurses, you have all this stuff. It's like everything goes back
Mhm.
and forth, right? Not reality, not real life. Not that person's not going to always be right there, right? I
Yep.
think that that's the part that I struggle with the most is the letting go part to like know that it's okay. So that's why I think watching your videos too has helped me from a standpoint of I don't know these children at all. I've never met any of them. I don't know them, but I'm getting to know you and how you are. But I didn't know you before when I was watching these. But to know that
Mhm.
you can do this and that it's achievable and these families actually are allowing you to take charge in doing this has been a little bit of a step for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. The thing is like, but the thing is like, Mom, you're not far away.
Jason.
Mr. Jackson, I have to say
Go
this to
away.
you. I have to
Go
say this to you.
away.
I know I'm sitting on here giving her trouble and all that, but I have to say this. In the 4 years that we've been together, she has grown as a mother.
Beautiful.
I have helped her cut her umbilical cord. And I found your videos and I watch them constantly and I love what you do. And your videos with her watching this has helped her so tremendously to grow as a mother and to finally let me push a little bit more
Mm-hmm.
with that. Don't get angry with me, Amber. I'm giving her some credit finally for a
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
change.
give the credit on your podcast. Let
Yeah.
her do her podcast.
Well, I
Bye.
don't have Vernon on the show, so there you go.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
bro.
He's yeah, he just had to say
Sorry
that.
about that, Mr. Jackson. I apologize.
No,
But
no, no. I
but
get
yeah,
it.
I just wanted you to know that because I
Yeah.
mean, I know what you're doing for a lot of other families, what you're doing for me too. And I
Yeah.
definitely want to thank you for that. But how can people donate to the gift event? How can they help you all to raise money for these children? Because correct me if I'm wrong, these haircuts, their first haircut is free to them. Is that correct?
Yeah. Every haircut is free. Every haircut is free up until they acclimate. If they want to continue to come to me, they can book in my other link to my regular schedule and then do that way, or they can go wherever they want to go to. Um, but they get access to free toys, t-shirts, families that drive a long distance. I get them gas cards. People can support by going to the giftedevent.com or giftedalliance.org. But giftedevent.com is the easiest way. If they're following me on social media, they can always click the link in my bio as well.
I love that. And where can people find you too, Vernon?
On Instagram at the best, the number one, the word period.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, on YouTube and TikTok, the Gifted Event Official.
Perfect. And we'll be posting those all over also. I'm going to hold you to that book. You'll probably be working out later, being like, oh, how do I start? What
I just
do I got
finished
to
now. I just finished it. I
do?
just finished it. I just finished
What?
leg day. I just finished leg day. I might think about when I'm eating my bowl from Kava.
All the time. Is working out your kind of do you do that to kind of decompress and all that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm 42 years old. I forget how old I was. I'm 42. I gotta work out.
Yeah,
I gotta maintain some kind of sexy. I can't be out here looking all crazy.
well,
Mr.
Yeah.
Jackson.
this girl would love to come shadow you sometime. So if you ever, from afar, of course, even if I'm
Yep.
behind a window, I don't
Come
care.
on through. I
I
got no
gotta
problem.
tell
I
you,
got
Mr.
you.
Jackson, thank you for
Love
what you
it.
do. Not
Mm-hmm.
only for these wonderful, gifted young ladies and gentlemen that you provide a service for, also the families that you touch, the fact that you've put it out there to make it a norm. That is
Mm-hmm.
amazing for all of society to see. And
Mhm.
the impact that you make every day, every moment, without even realizing it, with the
Yeah.
videos that you post and families that have never seen this before, the hearts that you touch. Thank you so very much for everything that you do, sir. We truly, truly do appreciate it here at the AT.
Vernon, can I ask one
I
more
received
favor
that,
from
Amber. Thank you
you?
so much. Thank you so
Uh,
much, Amber.
Vernon, I got one more favor. Tell
Yeah.
the Dome at America Center why it is so important to have an autism sensory room in the stadium.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you why it's important. Because you have supporters that want to be a part of it, but they also want to be included. Having a space, a sensory space that kids, even adults, can go and reset their mind and still be able to experience the experience that you all provide will let them know that you see them and that they matter and that they also are included in the story that you all paint with the games. Then who doesn't want to be a part of something big and beautiful? You can do that.
I love that. Thank you so much, Vernon. I'll be in touch with you for sure. Thank you so much for coming on.
You're welcome. Thank you so much, and thank you so much, girl. I love that. I appreciate that. I
Of
do. I do.
course. Of
All right.
course.
So,
We love it.
bye,
We'll see
ladies.
you again soon. Bye. Isn't he great? Oh my gosh, he's so
I
sweet.
love it. I love it.
He's so sweet. I do want to share this video too. I want to add this up here. Let's see. Oh my
Yeah, I
gosh.
saw
Okay, so
this.
as you all can see, definitely go to his page and check out. This is his page on Facebook, but go to his reels. These are all of his reels, all of his different haircuts that he's done with children. I have to play one because oh my gosh, the other day I saw one on here and it just like melted my heart. Which one was it?
Yeah, the one I saw was the kid didn't have a haircut for like 10 years. That was pretty amazing. Gotta love it.
Love it.
Love it.
Love
The
it. Okay,
superhero.
but I want to show one more. Hold on. Because I want everyone to see like the actual like process. Let's mm-hmm.
It's phenomenal. The work that he does, it's pretty amazing. I love it. It's pretty cool. Oh, I think I clicked
Mm-hmm.
the wrong thing trying to
I
unmute.
love it. I love it.
Pretty good, pretty
Definitely,
good.
you guys definitely go to his pages, check him out on TikTok, Facebook, X,
YouTube.
Instagram, YouTube,
All of
all
it.
the
Yeah.
above. He is everywhere. But thank you again to him for coming on for
I think
sure.
it's an amazing, amazing talent. And I got to
Mm-hmm.
say, the impact that he makes without even recognizing it, that is
Mm-hmm.
probably the most touching aspect of it. You know, he's reached millions of people and have broken barriers without even realizing it. That's the part that just baffles me every time. I absolutely love that about this.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm excited. I really hope he does that book idea because I think it'd be brilliant. Just saying.
You
Okay,
guys could do
so
it for him.
that'd be one big.
I love how you did that there. I don't know about you
Mhm.
though, Amanda. Some of the stuff we're gonna have to save. Are we trying to do this again tomorrow night? Get all the UFL and NFL and everything out there, or are we gonna save it
No,
for
we got
next
some.
week?
We got some time right now. We got some time. We
All
still got about
right.
20 minutes. So I want to real quick. Do you wanna? We had some. Orlando Storm is no longer
Undefeated.
undefeated. Thank you
Right.
to the St. Louis Battlehawks for that. Yeah, it was a pretty and talk about that gamblers win there, Amba.
It was an amazing game. Weather was a little bit on the warm side when the sun finally did pop out, but for the most part, bearable. The stadium was phenomenal. Shout out to the crew for doing an exceptionally amazing job. With less than 12 hours, they converted it from soccer field to football field. Phenomenal work, team. Great job. The
Mm-hmm.
Gamblers were off and running to a great start early on, but then they kind of lost some steam as the Columbus Roughnecks, I mean, the Columbus Aviators, decided to try to come back from it with McClendon and Kiki Chisholm, who used to be on the Houston team at one point in time last
Mm-hmm.
season, have definitely made the impact that they needed to make for Columbus. We're looking forward to serving them up this weekend again in their home city. I will definitely be sitting there watching the game in its entirety. I enjoyed it. I mean, this weekend was full of ups and downs. You know, Orlando getting their first loss, DC bringing up another win to tie with Orlando, and then of course, you know, the Stallions. They're eighth place or 10th place. Who'd have thought? Wait, 2, 4, 6. Yeah, eighth place. Eighth place. Who'd have thought? The
Well,
dynasty, is it done? Are they finally off their high horse? Just wondering. And yet, still a no-show for Rapoli at the Houston Stadium. Let me tell you, the front offices are definitely doing what they need to do to try to get as much of the word out into these markets. But all we've seen so far is a Pat McAfee interview with Rapoli's, potentially listing yet one more team location. Out of the locations that were mentioned, which one do you think would be the best?
well, I'm gonna be a little biased and say, Des Moines, Iowa, for instance, Omaha, Nebraska. Those are definitely two of
I
my big top picks.
I gotta say, if I was to make a pick for any of them, it would be Omaha because it's smack dab in the existing map, and travel would definitely be a lot easier for teams. It's not too much of a push further out west just yet, but I do see strength happening if these numbers continue to increase for next season and potentially two more stadiums opening up. If that is the case, Salt Lake City and Albuquerque could be potential new targets.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to just throw this out there because I just thought it was funny. During the Battlehawk game, Mr. Dean Blandino threw Mr. Dean out of the game for a late hit with a little bit of what do they call that? Where you stand over them and flex, a little flexing,
Taunting.
taunting. But you could thoroughly tell Coach Beck was not having it in the first half of that game. But there were a lot of drop passes during that game. A lot of throws also that were not great for Orlando also. So I just think that it wasn't really in their favor. As far as the Stallions go, again, same thing. Just the drop passes to the chest. Like those kinds of things just can't be happening.
You can't blame the quarterback at this point, and
No,
McCarron is doing what he can to
no.
coach.
So that's
I
my
mean,
question to you, Amber. Is this a wide receiver issue in the UFL right now, or is this a quarterback issue with these drop passes?
you're gonna laugh at what I'm about to say. I think it's an O-line issue. I
Mm.
think that these quarterbacks scrambling as much as they have, having to run outside of the pocket to try to make fast, quick, audible type plays and still hitting numbers with receivers that are not expecting these passes and they get dropped. I think the O line definitely needs to get in there and give these quarterbacks the time that they need to make the completions on the plays that are being called. We've seen the perfect example, and we'll segue into it with the NFL draft. Look at the number of O line that have been selected in the first round. It seems like the big boys are finally getting the recognition that they deserve. A few of the key hits on this. I mean, yeah, of course, the QB, the Heisman winner, got the first overall pick. But when we look at some of these O lines, man, I'm loving it. Some of the biggest ones, Spencer Fano went out, Francis Magoya, I think that's how you pronounce his name. Caden Proctor was one of them. Kalen Rutledge. And what he had to say, he's not there to take any notoriety away from CJ Stroud. He just wants to give the guy the time he needs to do what he needs to do. I thought that was a phenomenal answer to the question. Caleb Lumo was a tackle that went. I thought that was a good one. They've had offensive tackles, wide receivers got put out. Offense was definitely making an impact on the first round with the NFL draft. I'm just wondering if the UFL is going to follow suit when it comes to their draft in the next season.
Speaking of draft, shout out to this gentleman right here who we had on our show what was it, a couple weeks ago, Amber?
We did.
To Mr. Malik McLean for going to the Jets. I am so ecstatic for him. And also Tunde Fatukasi, who we had also on our show, got an invite to the Bills and to the Kansas City Chiefs. So
yes, he did.
I am ecstatic for them.
I will say,
happy for them.
One of the heart-touching stories that came out of the NFL draft was the Naval Academy recruit that went to the Pittsburgh Steelers. He got to go and play 7-on-7. Now he's going to be a teammate with the same 7-on-7 player he had growing up. Went into the Navy. The Navy has released him, and he's looking forward to playing for his hometown team of Pittsburgh. Congratulations on that. There was a couple of little tearjerker moments out there that I loved, and the overall status of the draft went without a hitch. I'm seeing the excitement come up, and it just makes me look that much more forward to College Gridiron Showcase next year and being able to interview the next group of recruits for the NFL draft and the UFL draft coming up.
So I have one more question for you.
Oh dear.
Do you think Reed, because as we can tell, first season of UFL is normally typically what we consider like preseason, in my opinion, right? First 3 weeks, in my opinion, I consider the UFL more preseason-ish. This is where it's starting to get real to me. Right. And Reed is starting to go really
Yeah, deep dive on that one for sure. Coming into the
What
second
has
half of the
happened?
season, I'll be honest, I don't know if there's contention among the ranks or if we're just no longer caring or if maybe the team has lost their spark, so to speak. I will say some of the routines have changed. And I definitely am looking forward to seeing what the second half of the season presents. Who do you think your top four are going to end up being for playoffs?
That's a good question.
I know, right? I feel like the Orlando Storm's got something to prove. I think
mean,
DC's got the motivation now that they know the championship is going to be in their stadium. So they got something worth fighting for.
do not count out the Kings at this point.
Right.
Do not count the Kings out at this point
I
at
feel like
all.
they're a sleeper.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they're a sleeper for sure.
Because they beat two pretty good teams. The team I'm most confused at right now, can I just say? The Aviators. The one game that y'all won was the game after the coach that y'all have wasn't there.
Right.
And didn't play. Or no. That the one game, that was the game he came back from, wasn't it? Or no?
Yeah.
That he came back from.
Yeah. I will say,
What?
I think
What
the
happened?
sleeper of the season is going to be the Gamblers this year. I don't know why. I just feel like they're slowly getting their up down groove going. But I don't know. The Kings might pull something out of their saddle, so to speak, their crown to get out there and make it happen. We'll see. We'll see.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm just confused because we kind of know that this is how UFL seasons go, right? A lot of times the first few games out of the season we're like, oh yeah, this team's on a mission, on a mission, on a mission. And then it gets to this point and it goes kerplunk.
Right.
And it's like
this is where it's the make or break right here. The next 2 to 3 weeks are going to be your make or break weeks. This is where we're going to see either the playoff teams break away from the pack to get up into the lead because it's the top four. There's no North Conference, South Conference, no USFL, XFL conference anymore. Like it's the top four teams. That's it. That's all it is. And you're either going to make it or you're not. And I think this is where some of the teams that have that cushion might feel a little bit overconfident with these hungry dogs coming in from underneath, trying to get them out of that contention. So be on the lookout with the middle of the pack, trying to make some headway into that top four or higher position.
right. Very true.
With that being said, we've got
where's your inspirational quote?
Are you ready? This one is an oldie but a goodie. All right. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. The infamous Winston Churchill said that. And it just reminds me to get up and keep going. It's the courage in the face of fear, knowing that you could be defeated, knowing that you could get hurt or that you can fail, knowing it beyond a shadow of a doubt, and yet you still get up to do it. That right there is motivation enough for me to keep saying good morning. I'm going to keep doing it despite the fears. What about you?
Oh gosh, I have so many. What? Why are you laughing at me?
Because you're thinking of one, aren't you? You're looking at them right now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Y'all ready, folks? Well, folks, that's all the time we got right now.
No, you knock it off. Okay. Mine probably is you define your own life. Don't let other people write your script. And that is from the most beautiful, one of the most beautiful women in the world, Miss Oprah Winfrey. So that's what I have to say on that one. We all have a story. Everyone in this whole world has a story.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But it's what you do with that story that makes all the difference in the world. So yes.
Yes.
So before we let everybody go, thank you so much again to Vernon Jackson so much for coming on. We really, really, really greatly appreciate it. Amber and I will get together to do our picks. We will put those out on something this week to let you all know who we are choosing for this weekend. And if you can believe it or not, we're already halfway through the UFL season this weekend. So that's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. And also, if you've not seen too, St. Louis Battlehawks put something out today that it's if you buy one get one basically for games for 2 games. So that's great too. So definitely go on to their pages and check that out.
I know that the merch is on a buy one get one half off. So be on the lookout for the merch. They got some pretty cool stuff, including sweater blankets. Go check it out, guys. UFL.com. Get out there, find your team, and find out what sweater blanket you want.
People use those in the. Are they? Listen. Why do people need those in the summertime? But here's the deal. Here's the kicker. If the season ends up starting a little earlier, for whatever reason, and more cities start coming in, depending on where they are, especially there in Iowa, it's not always warm at the beginning of every season.
Correct.
So I'm loving these new things to keep people warm for the beginning of the season. So
yeah, now we just need things to keep people cool for those in the southern half of the country.
Fans. Where the fans at?
With logos, yeah.
Fans with the logos. Or like the ones that go on your neck.
The big sunshine, the big sun-brimmed straw hats. Or giant foam cowboy hats.
What's up, Bryson? Oh my goodness. Yes, definitely.
Yes.
Yep, definitely be getting that kind of stuff. But like I said, if they make rounds over to their Iowa or Omaha, Nebraska, you go with the soccer field. You're gonna need something a little more.
Notice this, another win for women. The first time ever Nobel Prize awards were issued, and for the first time in its history, every single category recipient was a woman. Congratulations, ladies. Thank you for showing everyone that yes, women can do it too.
And shout out to the St. Louis Slam. I know they had their opening game this last weekend. I did go to the game. It was a great game. Unfortunately, the Slam did fall short on their opening game, but there's a great turnout there for sure. They fall short to the Vixens. The final score was 24-7. But I was able to take some great photos. Thank you to Christina too with the Slam for allowing me to do so, and Taylor Hay. That was great. So yeah, I'm excited for more games to come with the Slam, and they're still rock stars.
Oh yeah, for sure. All of those women in that football league are phenomenal. They are breaking glass ceilings and making history as we speak. And with that being said, we are done with another historical show from the A-Team, guys. My name is Amber.
And I am Amanda.
Y'all have a wonderful week. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody. See you next week.